So that game was a little underwhelming, to be honest. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about Wales versus USA match review. Basically, we're going to talk about what I thought was a positive and what I thought was needs a little more work. So without further ado, let's get to it. Here's how Greg Berhalter lined up his USA team against Wales. The back line, pretty much the same how we all thought was going to be. Stefan obviously starting goal. Brooks and Miazga, obviously the starting pair. Robinson and Des, the fullbacks, as we all predicted. And then we go up the field more, and that's where stuff kind of starts to not make sense, or kind of looks like, not the best. It is a 4-1-2-3. The one being Adams as a center defensive midfielder. Up ahead of him is Musa and McKennie as the two in front, who were the two players who are going to push forward and create some space, for the striker and whatever. The three up front was Conrad, Reina, and Sebastian Lletget as the center forward. Yes, the center mid guy, the guy who is, I think, best played, honestly, as a center midfielder or an attacking midfielder, is now the starting striker. Just no Josh Sargent. So why not put Sebastian Lletget? We had Timothy Weah, we had Sebastian Soto, we had Gio Chichi. We had some. I know they're young and inexperienced in the lineup or in the national team, but regardless, some of these guys still are making their debut. So why not put a guy to make his debut as a striker? It just makes. It's a friendly. Let's just try and experiment stuff before next year when all the real shit happens. To say the least. Let's talk about the positives before we get to the negatives. Or actually, let's talk about negatives first, and then we can talk about the good stuff at the end, to end on a good note. The negatives, like I said, Sebastian Lletget as a striker. Look, I don't have a problem with Lletget. Yes, he's from MLS, whatever, but I think he hustled, he did good, he put in the hard work. He's just not a striker, he's not a finisher like that, so he doesn't have like that striker instinct where you could, like that play the attacking positioning, where you're gonna go and find space and be like, you're gonna know where to stand or run to get the ball to score a goal. Like, I feel like he doesn't have that instinct because he's not a freaking striker. He's a midfielder, a center midfielder. That was my main concern right off the bat before the game was kicked off, because we all saw this lineup. We're like, what is this? Lletget as a striker? Whatever. I think he had a decent game, and in terms of a guy trying to be something he's not, a player playing out of position. Basically, he had a pretty decent game. I'll give him that. Like, he didn't really have too many shots or anything spectacular, but he tried, and that's, for me, all that matters. Conrad on the left, I'm glad for that. Reina, on the other hand, like I said in every video so far, predicting this game or predicting the lineups, Reina is better played down the middle. I just feel like, yes, he plays on the wings at Dortmund sometimes, but they primarily play him or sub him on also as a player to play in centrally, attacking centrally. Like, that's his best position at Dortmund, where he's been shining the light, where he's earned this call up, where he's really been a threat to be threatened or whatever, reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with in the Bundesliga. Like, I just feel like, why put him on the right? Why not? Like, if you want to have a guy in the midfield push up, why not let it be Reina and then put Musa on the right? The other one was Musa. I think Musa and Reina actually both had very, very underwhelming performances. I mean, they weren't terrible. They didn't suck, but they weren't anything like how we were all hyping them up to be. Like, we're like, Reina, Musa. We're so glad we got Musa to play for us. We're so glad Reina's actually gonna make his debut. Like, we're hyping them up this whole time, and it's their first appearance, their debut with the senior national team with the USA, and the debut for Musa for the USA in general, and it's a little underwhelming. I think maybe we hyped them up too much, that we expected something more spectacular in real life. But whatever. I think Musa looked a little bit lost in midfield. I think he had a quiet game. Same thing with Reina. I feel like Reina was too busy trying to find some space to create something, to do something special. Like, I feel like he felt a little more out of position there, especially with not having a real striker to feed balls to. Maybe that didn't help him either. And Musa, again, looked lost, like I just said. That's pretty much for the bad stuff. That's pretty much it. We only had 7 shots on goal, and only 1 was on target. And 7 shots is actually very low, at least to me. I want to see some more shots. I feel like we didn't take enough chances. I know Conrad had a chance in the first half, but I feel like we didn't have anything crazy. We didn't really test Danny Ward, the goalkeeper from Wales. We didn't test him too much for us to seem like a bigger threat. Like I feel like as though our players were still new to the system and new to Greg Berhalter's like lineup and setup, wherever, and just new to playing with each other. That way. That's why I think they were just trying to figure themselves out. They were trying to figure out how he plays with him against somebody else. Like they're just trying to feel themselves out. And then hopefully a couple more games in, they get more comfortable and they actually create some creativity, get some like momentum going, some consistency, and then that can actually like turn into, you know, something spectacular. I don't know. Those are all my negatives. All right, let's talk about the good stuff, because there is good stuff. Okay, this game wasn't terrible. We didn't lose. We didn't concede a goal. We kept a clean sheet. I think Brooks and Matt Miazga as the center back pairing were great. I mean, minus Miazga's yellow card, whatever, it was stupid, but I think they both did really, really well at breaking up plays, at really defending in general. I think they did really good. Brooks obviously is the number one center back we have on our roster, so it's all like it's all about who the next person is going to be. Brooks is number one no matter what, but I think these two together, they mesh pretty well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them start again against Panama, or really just see them start in like the tournaments, games, and qualifications we have next year. Another big highlight I think we had obviously is the intensity we had. I know we didn't have a lot of shots, but we really looked hungry. We really looked like most of these players wanted to prove something to not just to the manager, but to themselves and to the fans. Like, yes, I know you guys are hyping us up, but here we go. We're going to try and give it all and try to impress you guys and try to really make something out of nothing right now. Like, I really, really like that. I mean, I haven't seen the USA with that intensity and that motivation and confidence in such a long, long time. And I feel like this group of players we have, they've got it. They're hungry. They want to win something. They want to prove to the world that they are the real deal. And that's a very, very big thing to have for us right now, because that could really lead to creating more superstars, hopefully creating superstars, and just creating some good momentum with the team. I like that we had most possession in the game. I hated when we didn't have any possession against a lot of teams. In this game, we had 61% possession to Wales' 39% possession, so we did control the game for the most part. The first half, I think we did better than the second half. The second half, I feel like Wales kind of woke up a little bit. They kind of took control in some parts, in certain aspects of the field as well. They really pushed us to they pushed our formation around, Conrad and Reina did switch wings after a while. But nonetheless, I think we dealt with that pressure from Wales. We dealt with that having to change our players around. But the only thing is that we didn't have the certain players to finish some attacks off. Like I said, a striker was really definitely missing in this team in certain aspects. No, actually in every freaking aspect. But I think the biggest highlight of this game, Serginho Dest, bro. Serginho Dest, what a fucking phenomenon. He is full of confidence. He is full of skill. He's like this guy he's so confident. I feel like he's going to be a leader one day for this team. He's literally trying to do everything. He was everywhere on this pitch. He was everywhere. Defending, attacking, tracking back, creating stuff, making some good crosses, some great passes. You can tell that this guy is training with one of the best teams around the world. He really is showing. He's full of confidence. He knows he's here. He's like, yo, I'm playing for Barcelona, and I'm going to show you why they signed me. He's doing all these cool tricks, freaking back heels and cool little snake moves. He was really, really impressing me. And a lot of even the commentators were watching, look at Serginho Dest, bro. Look at him go. They didn't say bro, but that's how I translated it. Serginho Dest was definitely the biggest highlight of this game. I love every time he was on the ball. I was like, what is he gonna do? What's he gonna do next? Brought me so much excitement when he was on the ball, and he really wanted to score. He really wanted to help the team win. He was trying everything until he was subbed off Reggie Cannon. But nonetheless, I think he was our best player of the night. Probably the best player out of both teams, and that's the honest truth. We did see 6 players get their debut for the USA. We had Conrad, Gio Reyna, Musa. We had Johnny Cardoso, Johnny Soccer. We had Gio Chichi. Timothy Weah as well. Had never played for Greg Berhalter. That's something I didn't really know. There was somebody else. One second. Oh, Owen Adesawi. He also, and he also made his debut. And Ulysses Yanez, when he came on the pitch, I think he did do good once he came on for Conrad. He had like a shot on goal right from the first touch he had since being subbed on. I think that was great. It was a good save by Ward, but I think Yanez was pretty good. And towards the end of it, he kind of just like quiet down a little bit. But nonetheless, I think overall this performance was more underwhelming than impressive. I think we could have done a lot better. But then again, you got to realize that a lot of these players are young, inexperienced at this high level of national team soccer or whatever. And I think it's going to take a little bit to get these guys on the ball rolling and really get some consistency and some momentum going once they all figure out how the other one plays. I think just takes a little bit of patience, and we're going to see these players shine eventually. Maybe against Panama, which is like a little bit weaker opposition than Wales. They can create something or try some new ideas there. But right now, I think we're just too young. Greg Berhalter has just got a bunch of new players that he still isn't so. I feel like he's not so like sure how he wants to sort them around the field. But that's it. I mean, I think I'm content with it. I'm gonna go ahead. I know it's a 0-0 draw, but I liked what I saw from certain players. But in the big scheme of things, I'm bummed that we didn't win or really didn't get to score any goals for some of our debut players here. But I would love to know your thoughts. By the way, I was not streaming this. I was texting live on Discord. Well, I'll leave the link down below so you guys can join the Discord. So then when USA plays Panama, you guys are all chatting with your boy Drew about the game. And I was chatting with some of you guys out there. So for all you guys on the Discord, thank you. That means a lot. But right now, leave a like on the video and comment your thoughts on this game and tell me, again, how you feel about Greg Berhalter's lineup going into this game against Wales. I'll see you guys for the next preview against USA versus Panama, which is going to come out pretty soon. That's all I have. See you guys later. Peace.